You're listening to Radio Azad. This is your host, Ayesha. And with us, we have Dr. Sheeza Mohsin. She is a personal growth and relationship expert and focuses on multicultural clients and their issues. And boy, are there a lot of issues. How are you, Sheeza?
I am good. Thank you so much for having me. It's great to see both of you.
Well, you are no stranger to Radio Azad, as I was telling Saihba.
No, it's
And I'm
lovely
trying to
being here.
just make sure that I am in the frame here. Okay. All right, Shiza. So we have a few questions for you, and we'll focus on couples therapy. So, if you can just shed some light for us, if couples therapy always means is the relationship in trouble?
That is, I think, one of the biggest miscommunication about couples therapy. The best couple therapy happens when the couple is stable and strong. It is a preventative resource to make your relationship stronger and better.
Mhm.
And, just like a wellness checkup, when you are going there in a de escalated form to just make sure you're using tools and resources to strengthen, to learn how to love on each other, to support each other when things are not escalated. So, couples therapy is there to make you stronger so you know how to be there for each other when times get tough. So the quick answer is no. Couples therapy is there to help you grow closer and stronger, so you can be there for each other when times get tough.
So, do you actually get clients who come to you saying, we have a great relationship and we want to make it better?
So I want to tell you two things, which I am so proud of our community now. I would not have been able to say this 10 years ago, but yes, I do. My youngest, and I'm very proud of them, the youngest couple that I have seen, and just in my practice, which is about 14 years old, they're 21 and 22. They actually place an order. The younger ones are just amazing. They have read my stuff. They're like, this is our family issue. This is our issue. This is what we want to work on. They are just brilliant. They come to me de-escalated. They're like, this is what we want to work on, and I have a lot of them who come de-escalated, wanting to grow stronger. They come at a time where the conflict is this big.
Wow, that's marvelous. All right, Seba.
Assalamu alaikum, Shiza. How are you?
Walaikum assalam, Sahiba. So good to see you.
So good to see you, Aisha. I don't know if you know, but Shiza has been and she's been such a solid rock for us, even for maths. She's encouraged us, and she's one of constantly encouraging us, helping us through that. So thank you so much for doing that, Shiza.
It's my pleasure, and I want to tell you, I'm just so proud of our community, all the growing therapists and counselors, and they're doing amazing work. And we have just a burgeoning community of amazing, amazing mental health professionals that are coming up. Very proud of them.
Wonderful. So good to have you here, Shaza. All right. So I'm going to ask you, a few things in that. And I also share your opinion that, mashallah, the young people have become so I love the young couples. They make it worth being in couples counseling in the end. Um, I want to ask you, in your practice, what do you come across most as a misconception about marriage therapy? Like when the couples are in therapy, what are they most misinformed about? And what would you like for couples to know that would help them take the first step to come to you or any marriage therapist?
So I will tell you, I will speak from a generational perspective that may be helpful. So where the misconceptions lie the most is the older, the Gen Xers, baby boomers is where the misconceptions are the most. Gen Z is too therapy happy. So there's no issue there. They will come. And, I know this from, so the Gen Zs and the millennials are therapy happy. And I'll give you, it's a very confidentiality and privacy based service. My practice is very differently set up. But, when I'm around in the community, it's becoming very interesting because my Gen Z and millennials are so proud. They're like publicly introducing me to people. So it's like very funny. It's like, oh, this is my therapist. And like, and I have a coaching practice now, right? I'm only licensed in Texas. So I'm traveling state to state, international. And it's like, oh, come meet my therapist. So Gen Z and millennials, very different population. So Gen X is where a lot of the stigma lies, right? They're embarrassed, there's stigma. And I will tell you that the miscommunication is that when we go to therapy, it will make our problems worse. And that also, I will say that with the caveat that it's because of the limitation of trained marriage professionals around. Marriage is a very complicated training. Not too many people are trained in marriage therapy, and also because it's like the sick person. I don't know, and I like giving this example in marriage because we're from Pakistan. In Pakistan, a lot of the big hospitals get a reputation that when you go to that hospital, you die. And that happens because the patient is taken to that hospital in such a terrible state that there is very little chance that you're able to save them. So, of course, people die, right? So, when the marriage reaches the therapist at such a stage where everything is pretty much gone, and you're just saying, oh, we tried therapy for 6 sessions and it couldn't save, then, you're really not able to say, you could try everything, but you won't be able to save the marriage when it comes in such a deadbeat state. So that is the fear, right? That you have been cooking problems for such a long time. And then you're so afraid by the time you go, you have 15, 20, 25 years of pain that you've taken there. So there's that stigma. So that's one, miscommunication. When you go with your marriage problems at a good time, your marriage can be saved. And my practice is almost 15 years old. 75% of the marriages have come through, mashallah, mashallah. They're able to survive. There are 20-25% that you can't really help because there are critical reasons. So the miscommunications are that marriages cannot be saved. It's just that people don't have the tools. And a lot of times people go to, family members and people who think that they can help, but that actually exacerbates the situation.
Yeah. That's so. Thanks for the detailed answer, Sheeza. And I can resonate with a couple of things so well in terms of a lot of times couples stop by the therapist office before they're going to the divorce lawyer, and it's like you have your work cut out for us. And in the therapist community, they say that there's a special place in heaven for a couples therapist, right, Sheeza?
Absolutely. And I'll say another thing. It's called in Urdu, the term is called khana puri. So and people think, they talk about therapy like it's a facial. They'll say therapy karai thi. Like it's not a facial. Like, it's not going to change. And also another thing I will say about therapy in general, and I have so much regard for brave new therapists who are trying to work in the couples therapy. It's the hardest therapy space. And I will invite couples therapists, make sure you get supervision, make sure you get training, because you can actually negatively impact a relationship if you don't know how to work in that space. Make sure you get training. That you are dealing with two people who are very, very angry or upset. So you have to know relational dynamic. But for couples therapists, they're people working relational space, very different space. So this is not an easy job. So, and I know you do that space, you are in that space. So, it's not an easy space to work in. And so you know what you're doing.
I'm in such elite company here. I hope both of you
Yes,
love on
you
me.
are. You're talking to warriors.
All right. So we have a lightning round for you. So I know we are running short of time as well. So we'll expect some very quick answers from you. What is the biggest myth about marriage therapy?
The biggest myth is that marriage therapy saves marriages. And I will say that marriage therapy is like going to the gym. If you don't work out in the gym, nothing is going to save your marriage. That means you have to change and you have to do the workout. If you don't work out, it's not going to change. So you still have to do the work.
Awesome. So the next question is biggest myth about parenting.
Parenting, biggest myth is that parents are perfect and children need perfect parents. Children don't need perfect parents. Children need parents who can learn and who can repair and who are emotionally available. That's all they need.
Hmm. Good. What's the biggest myth about conflict?
Biggest myth about conflict is that conflict is the problem. Conflict is not the problem. Unresolved conflict is the problem. Because handled well, conflict actually can make people come closer because you talk about the pain and it deepens trust, it deepens intimacy, it deepens understanding. So, conflict is actually a good thing.
One habit every couple should start today. I know you would love this one.
So, it's actually when your partner comes yelling at you and attacks you, which every partner will do, if you can gather the courage when you want to attack back, is to just stay quiet and give them 15 minutes to vent it out. Whether they're cursing at you, whether they're telling you how horrible you are, how you hurt their feelings, whether you're the worst person, worst partner on earth, and how could you? If you can learn how to shut up and shut it for 15 minutes and let them just let it out, it is going to go such a long way.
Okay. Isn't that giving in?
No, it's just giving them space to let their emotions out. Do not resist that anger. You're just metabolizing emotions. You're not agreeing to anything, you're just letting them let it out. Do not jump. It's called a tornado. Do not jump in the tornado because the only place the tornado will go is down. You don't want to jump in the tornado to go down with them. Just step back. Let the tornado go.
I just want to make a comment on this. There's an old saying and some traditional sayings कि when your spouse is angry, मुंह में पानी भर लो
Hmm.
and don't swallow and don't spit out. I mean,
कुछ भर लो, बस बोलो मत.
bus, which
You
means
may have an answer for everything. You may have an answer that will shut them out. Just don't
Hmm.
bow out.
Interesting. Okay. What's one habit every family should stop today?
Talking at each other and treating each other special by giving each other unfiltered feedback. Treat each other like you treat your friends. One of the biggest, worst things Desi people do as family is give each other unfiltered feedback.
Mhm.
that's good.
Is that unsolicited feedback also?
Absolutely. You know, are the things that happens when gari ka darwaza band hota hai, and you know what we say to our children, aise nahi, aise karo, is tarah kyun kiya, the feedback on why did you say this, why, it's like all this, and then unsolicited, and Aisha, I will add to it, untimely.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then you wonder why your kids are always in their room because a poor sod is going to open the fridge, and when they close the fridge, there's the parent saying something untimely. It's like, oh my God. And then you wonder why your kids are roaming around in the house in the middle of the night because they know that you're not the predator saying random things to them.
Mm.
Like,
That's very well said, Shiza. And that brings us to our next one. What's one thing that children need the most from their parents?
such an easy one. The one thing that your kids need the most from you is emotional safety. That's all they need. They need the confidence to know that you will love them, even if they don't become a doctor, even if they didn't find a partner or got married to the right person, even if they didn't lose the weight, even if they didn't get the perfect job or the perfect admission into the college, and all the perfect things that make you feel good, that you still love them. And you will not judge them.
Mm.
Hmm.
Excellent. Excellent. And what's one thing that spouses often overlook?
Everything. Desi spouses are all about grand gestures.
Oh.
what they can post on social media. They are always missing the small things.
Mhm.
Beautiful relationships are rarely strengthened by the grand gestures. They are strengthened by the small, tiny little things that are happening every day, 10 times a day. And they are shaped by thousands of tiny, tiny, beautiful things that your partners are doing or not doing to make your life easy and light and beautiful. So just notice when they're turning towards you, notice when they're there for you and not even making a big deal out of it. So that's how you make a relationship beautiful and safe and noticed, and giving each other that feedback to say, it was so awesome that I could do this without you making a fuss. Instead of saying, you didn't throw me a surprise party, you're doing like that big thing that I could take a picture and post some ridiculously.
It's all about Instagram now, right? What is Instagrammable in the
Postable
relationship?
and all of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Shiza, absolutely wonderful to have you on the show again. And don't be a stranger. I know you've made a gift to Radio Azad, which we'll never forget you for. Some people will say we'll never forgive you for, but but thank you for that. And you and I both know what that is. And Seba,
No,
anything you'd
thank you
like
so
to add?
much, Shiza. This was so good to hear you voice these things and so articulately, mashallah. It's always lovely to speak with you and to gain from your wisdom in the field as well.
It was lovely seeing you, and thank you for all the great work you guys do. Your conversations and what you're bringing to your audiences, in simple, light terms, is just so beautiful. And thank you for always lightening our day with all the fresh stuff that you keep bringing. It just makes our lives so simple and enjoyable. And thank you for having me.
What's your Insta handle, Shiza?
It's at Dr. Sheeza Mohsin.
All right, at Dr. Shiza Mohsin. Great. Always a pleasure. Take care.